السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله العلي العظيم من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح للأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. فاجزه اللهم عنا خير ما جزيت رسولا عن أمته ونبيا عن قومه، وارض اللهم عن أصحابه وأزواجه وذريته والتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد. My dear respected brothers and sisters, as we all know, individuals, families, communities, societies, nations, civilizations, they have chapters. They have rest times and stops to reflect, engage, and see the direction it's going. And one of the beauties of the deen, al-Islam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided its perfection and acceptance to humanity from revelation to the hereafter until the day of judgment is its universality. It's so inclusive. Any human being's feelings are stated, protected, recognized in the Quran and the Sunnah. And from the first chapter, we always read, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. Alhamdu. For who? Rabb. Rabb of who? Al-Alameen. What more universal? The heavens and the earth and in between, the entire creation. And I don't want to spend too much expanding on the size of the creation. Let's zoom in us, human beings, mankind, the children of Adam and Eve, and sometimes many, even the preachers and the many clergy people and professors and those who make even da'wah under-recognized women, to begin with by saying just the children of Adam. Who gave birth to the children of Adam? It was Eve. And this is the beauty. From the beginning, we need to recognize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rabbil Alameen, the Rabb, the definition of Rabb, the one who creates, sustains, gives you shifa, cures your illnesses, your sicknesses, sustain you, provides to you, gives you the children, gives you all the gifts and wealth and takes it away too. That's the Rabb. The Ilah is the one who tells you the laundry list, do's and don'ts, halal, haram, legislation, rules, regulations, boundaries, limits, lines. That's the Ilah. And that's the difference when we understand the difference between Rabb and Ilah. So the Rabb, Rabbil Alameen, start with Rahmah, Alhamdulillah. That introduction, it ended up with, in the last chapter of Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس. Subhanallah. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduced from the Alameen, He focused on the Nas now. Malik Nas, Ilah Nas. So He concluded to remind you, yes, the introduction is the Rabb who created you, gives you life, gives you death, gives you sustenance, children, health and rizq and sustenance. At the same time, He is in charge. We are not. He is in charge. That's why we get so upset. And this introduces this huge upset. The disaster, the big test, the calamity, the trial that happened in New Zealand. And today I want to share with you a very important point that social media and others, and I'm talking about Muslims now, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the guidance. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. Never mentioned a race, a color, ethnicity, anything. Alladhina amanu, al-alameen. Universal values apply everywhere to everybody, and nobody has monopoly over them. That so many were praising, Alhamdulillah, they were martyrs. They died at the best day, the best place, the best time, in Jum'ah. But that's not the point. The point is Muslims don't want to die in the masajid. We don't want to praise dying and being killed in the masajid without us understanding the value of life. Allah Azza wa Jal wanted us to live first. Enjoy life, build life, be in the construction process of humanity. We need to deliver. We don't want to just praise to be killed and murdered in the masajid. Why? Because we go martyrs. That's not an Islamic approach to understanding this, that we have to be careful. And many of us receive over social media and we forward messages and pictures and videos without us realizing what would be the impact of me forwarding this or saying or commenting. We need to reflect. We need to be critical thinkers. We need to understand. Allah did not brought us here to be murdered in the masajid. And we can always talk about politics and racism and all of that. That's another time, another talk. But the core issue here, unless and until we master living in the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal, we will be denied finishing off in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to understand this beauty that you live fi sabilillah. You are at your best as a human being first and foremost, and then you will have no value if you don't believe in your Lord, the one who created you. Your mission, the purpose of our existence is not to be murdered in the masajid. We can always blame we can always say without a doubt who did it and who did it in the past. And I want to remind you, the same thing happened in Palestine, in Palestine, in Hebrew, when the same guy, as far as the action, the same mindset, said those who are praying in Al-Masjid Al-Ibrahimi did not have the right to live. They were invaders to this land, as now they claim. And he murdered, left and right, exactly the same execution style. And we forget. But Allah is sending us messages. These things happen and popping up everywhere for the ummah to wake up. The ummah that has a role to play. Because why this happens and such a thing happens, let's ask ourselves, have we fulfilled the mission that Allah wants for us and created for us, is to live and master living fi sabilillah. I respect and I'm for it to have security in the masajid. But does this really solve the problem? Why can't we have an open dialogue with President Trump and others? What is the deal here? Why do we allow things to happen and more people are being killed in Yemen, in the masajid, by air? It did not take a person to really hide a gun, a machine gun, automatic gun, to walk into a masjid, a mosque, and fire at people and kill people in Yemen. No, it's done by airplanes, supplied by our country, by the taxpayers also, and making money, profits, strategic interest, with the hands also of our Muslim brethren, supposedly, and in Syria, everywhere else. What happened in Fallujah in Iraq at the invasion, those who were killed in the masajid were beyond description. And in Mosul and everywhere else. In Kashmir, in Afghanistan, it was all, has been claimed collateral damage. We're sorry, we apologize. We'll give every family $1,000. Now we have to, on the other hand, we have to be responsible enough to recognize that we truly, sincerely recognize and appreciate the New Zealand government and the Prime Minister to take very courageous steps, that she had a hijab on her head to go and visit the community and do and say what they have done already and what they are going to do to protect everybody there. And we need to remember the other communities that suffer of the same thing, whether in the States or anywhere else. And I see it coming. There will be a time not too long from today that everybody will be marching on the streets. Everywhere on this planet, enough is enough. Enough bloodshed, enough killing. We need to master life. We need to have, it's not that I want to have and really ask anybody for my right to live. I want to enforce that. But when I live, when I'm given the opportunity to live, what am I doing about it? And I invite you, each and every one of you, that to really understand that this ummah, and the Prophet ﷺ, subhanallah, described it so beautifully, that it's one body. Nowadays, it's been for a while, but nowadays more than ever, this concept of allergies. Everybody's suffering from new allergies, allergy testing, asthmas, everywhere, allergies. Something has happened. And what it means in simple terms, that this body is reacting to something bad to it. It's not in sync with it. Don't you think we have a lot of allergies, social allergies too? Don't you think we are messing up with the rules from the ilah we spoke about, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the halal and the haram. And I give a very classic example. When people want to get married, the whole families, the bride and the groom, they get so emotional. They love to go to the masjid and do the nikah. MashaAllah. Takbir. But if a divorce happens, do they go back to the masjid and resolve the issue peacefully like they got united? No. They go to courts and they want to get revenge and they want to fight each other and child custody and what goes with the whole package. Therefore, we need to wake up. We need to realize and recognize that things are happening because of our faults. A lot of things we are responsible for, but sometimes it's easy to really act like a victim all the time. We know Islam has been targeted from day one in Mecca. Do you know that in the history, in the traditions of Islam, Abu Jahl, the leader of resistance and rejection of Islam and Tawheed in Mecca, when the Sahaba got to him, a young Sahabi stepped upon his chest, he said to him, tell the Prophet, you Prophet, that I hate him even if my head was in the bottom of hellfire. See how much hatred to Islam? And unfortunately, our president expressed that many times to stop Muslims from coming to this country. And Islam is full of hate. Where Islam, who started the First World War, the Second, and the Third, and the Fourth, and all the killing and all over the globe, who is doing that? Who is hating? Who wants to work and build for humanity, not just Muslims? I hear say, and I admit, we can always improve, but the Muslim Ummah is a target because it simply represents the truth. The truth for humanity. Our issue, we don't have personal issues. And that's why I always say the problem of the nations that prophets came to, they had to deal with the prophets. They didn't like them. They started wars against them. They wanted to kill them, but they forgot really to understand and comprehend what the message was. So we invite everybody to read about Islam, to enjoy, explore Islam, reflect on the Quran. This is the truth, the words of the Lord as they came down on us. And finally here the Quran is that message that at least, maybe perhaps, the youngest Hafiz, the youngest human being that memorizes Quran can be 5 years old. And the oldest could be 100 years old. Give me any book in mankind history that a book like this memorized by hundreds, by let's say at least tens of millions across the globe, across history since Islam was revealed, enjoyed, recited so beautifully. And nowadays on social media, how many people, they are not Muslims, but listening to Qari like Abdul Basit and others, and their hearts receiving peace, tranquility. And I was informed that we have a sister, she took Shahada amongst the sister, and I would like to welcome her, not to our deen, not to our faith, but to the deen and faith of Allah, the Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody owns this deen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala owns it. Deenullah. Deenullah. We are privileged and honored that we are Muslims. We cannot afford to take it for granted. We welcome her, and I invite the sisters to also engage with her, welcome her and comfort her and support her. And I invite her to get the most support by really paying attention to the Quran and the traditions, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless her and protect everybody that wants to join the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله حمد الشاكرين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين المصلحين الله أسأل أن يجعلني وإياكم منهم وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله عليه أفضل الصلاة وأزكى التسليم بأبي وأمي يا رسول الله. If you would be kind enough to move forward gently so the standing brothers behind can have seats. And always, brothers, the beautiful sunnah and the tradition, don't take more space than you need. Leave that space to others coming in nicely and kindly and gently to join. This is how you feel the closeness of this gathering and congregation. Jazakumullah khair. The New Zealand issue and what happened in New Zealand. It's about time. Yes, indeed, physically we can take security measures. But it's time for us to engage differently. Yes, we can rally for politics. Yes, we can go for refugees and immigrants. Yes, we can do a lot of other things. But the life of humanity is the most sacred. As a matter of fact, the top missions of Islam came about to protect 5 top priorities for humanity. Number 1 is life. Number 1 is life. Wealth, heritage, lineage, and freedom to worship. Freedom of choice. How can you live if you're not free? And security. And that's why you have to rush. If you see an emergency, you help. You don't look at the color, the ethnicity, the faith. It's humanity. It's all about humanity, bringing humanity to a peaceful platform globally. Everybody's life is equal. We do not have a super race. There is no superhuman beings. Everybody has exactly equal right to live and enjoy life and be supported by other human beings. It's time for us to rally, to stop killing worldwide, to stop this madness of supporting such things through politics and power. Because I want to ask myself and you, what is next? What is next after New Zealand? Is it 100 people murdered? Is it a school shooting because they are Muslims, children? What is the next step? Is it in this country? Is it in Europe, Asia, anywhere? Nobody knows anymore. Nobody knows. Humanity is lost. Yes, we can comfort and we make dua, and that's our duty. Yes, alhamdulillah, they did not die while doing something wrong. They met their Lord, Creator in the masjid, in a Jum'ah. But as I said earlier, I want to repeat, we are not to be murdered in masajid and get happy about it. Why? Because we are shuhada now. It doesn't work that way. Our deen does not call for that. Otherwise, some people like that guy and others will say, okay, you want to get there? I'll make it fast for you. Okay, line up in the masajid and get the machine guns and start slaughtering people in the masajid. That's not the way. We should not send the wrong message. We should not praise murder in the masajid by accepting and saying, alhamdulillah, it's the best place to die and the best time. So therefore, we need to wake up with what's happening with social media, forwarding messages. So this is my conclusion to you today. This is the homework. We need to unite to protect the number 1 most sacred thing for humanity, which is the right to live. Can it be simpler than that? Can anybody, for Allah's sake, for God's sake, to simplify it more than this? That we need to all work together to save people's lives and they have the right to live? So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this chapter of the Ummah's history from the other part of the world and around the globe, that it's a wake-up call for all of us to support the lives of everyone on this planet in the middle of Africa and anywhere else, as equal as the lives of us anywhere else, even in Mecca. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who will make the change and wake up to call for enough. We have to stop what we are doing in Yemen and everywhere else. It's time for us to really not just take off the fingers of the triggers, but to eliminate that trigger once and for all. So no more shooting, inshallah. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم اللهم تقبلهم شهداء عندك يا رب العالمين اللهم كن لأهاليهم ولذويهم اللهم أجرنا في مصيبتنا واخلف لنا خيرا منها. Ya Allah, replace this musibah with khayr and barakah from you. You know best. We surrender to you, to your rahmah, to your management of our affairs. Ya Allah, we seek forgiveness and we seek your guidance and we seek your nur and hidayah and protection. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward each and every one on this planet that goes about to protect human life and the sacredness of it. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our efforts. اللهم ارحمنا وعافنا واعف عنا اللهم ألف بين قلوبنا اللهم اجعلنا من الذين ينصرون القرآن ودين الإسلام وينشرونه اللهم انصر عبادك المجاهدين في سبيلك صادقين مؤمنين لرفع راية التوحيد في الأرض اللهم كن معنا ولا تكن علينا بارك لنا في أرزاقنا اللهم ارزقنا الرزق الحلال وبارك لنا فيه وباعد بيننا وبين الحرام كما باعدت بين المشرق والمغرب ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وأقم الصلاة.